You know what, guys? I am coming to the defence of my bro, Champion Joe. He doesn't need defending, and he will deny any relation. But if you watch his latest review of Project Motor Racing that he uploaded yesterday, he makes some really good points, and he also highlights something that I noticed that's really, it's really a bit disturbing. So anyway, this is what we're going to talk about in this video, and I think some other sim racing YouTubers can chip in on this as well if they've noticed this weird pattern. As always, remember to subscribe so you then have the power to unsubscribe when you realise you don't like bald men. Can click the like button, don't know what it does, and thanks to all our channel members, patrons, donors, supporters. You really should do better things with your money, but I appreciate the support. So this has been really bad with PMR for obvious reasons. The game has released far too early, has a lot of problems, and obviously people are very frustrated with that. But I've also seen this type of behaviour on Assetto Corsa Rally and other content, and you see it across Reddit, you know, but it's just got worse over the last year or so. It's very notably worse, this type of behaviour. And what this is that there's seemingly this inability from a lot of people to be able to understand that things are not 100% good or 100% bad. And also, the fact is, if a YouTuber or reviewer is pointing out one thing that's good about a game, they're not saying the entire game is flawless or overall great. They're just commenting on that one component that they think is good. They might also comment on another component that they think is bad. And they might comment on things saying these are average or mediocre, right? Nothing can be broken down into a simple thing of it's 100% good, it's 100% bad. That, in my mind, is a relatively obvious thing that maybe younger people aren't aware of, and you can be excused if you're younger because you've not had time to develop critical thinking skills. Another thing I'm seeing a lot of is people commenting, again, YouTube comments, my videos, other videos, Reddit, where they don't seem to be aware that YouTubers, especially, or reviewers, are not just comparing the features to your favourite simulator or one or two simulators, right? They're comparing these features to everything in the space, or like all the simcades, all the driving games, all the simulators, the top simulators, the bottom simulators. They're sort of using all their knowledge of racing games to then compare them to those games and where they fit in. So a game might be actually in the top 4 or 5 of racing games for a specific feature. That doesn't mean it's entirely better than those other games. It doesn't mean that it's not still flawed, but it does mean it's worthwhile pointing out that that specific feature or aspect of the game comparatively is really quite high up and worth mentioning. That seems to be something that's, again, really confusing a lot of people. I don't know why, but it is. And then finally, this has really been a problem this year more than any other year as my time on YouTube as an old YouTuber. The amount of pure sort of brigading and spamming and just like tribalism. Obviously, that's always a thing with video games, and in sim racing, it's always been the church of iRacing, R-Factor, whatever. It's always been tribalism. That's humans for you. Humans are stupid. Apart from me, I'm perfect. But the degree to which this brigading is happening now, where, again, as I say, like the previous comment, someone says something a bit positive, and then their entire comment section is wiped out by what look like bot accounts of accusing them of being a shill, a liar, just basically abusive comments that, from a YouTuber's perspective, fortunately, I mean, I've got no hair, I've already lost the plot, so I don't think it affects me too much. It's just tedious, but I feel really bad for younger YouTubers that haven't been subjected to all this abuse for so long, and you could have YouTubers that maybe aren't as despair-ridden as myself, and I think it could really affect them quite negatively, especially if you're someone that's genuinely doing a good job, you're actually being critical, having hundreds and possibly thousands of comments attacking you is not good for you. And even more stupidly, right, what happens from these types of comments is it makes it that someone does not want to be critical. So ironically, these comments are utterly counterproductive from the perspective of a person making those comments. So if a product is flawed and has issues, you would want YouTubers or reviewers to point those issues out and be consistently critical. If those YouTubers know that they are going to get just spammed for being critical, they are much more likely to go down the road of just being a bog standard influencer, which honestly is just more lucrative, less stressful and easier, where you just don't cover anything that's controversial or has a negative zeitgeist behind it. Don't say anything that you know will be somewhat mildly controversial or critical, and just focus on the positives. Only say positive stuff, and just avoid any of any potential conflict. That is what you're producing. By ironically, these comments are effectively manufacturing corporate shill content creators. So it's utterly counterproductive being angry at people that are being critical. What you have to do is, if you disagree with someone, you actually have to give a reason why you disagreed with it, and they might disagree with you. One of you might be wrong, but you actually have to just give a reason. The amount of times, guys, on the comments under our recent videos, it's not just PMR, it's a whole bunch of stuff, and on Reddit, the amount of times you see a comment going, oh, you're a shill, or you've lied, or whatever, and you just say, oh, can you tell me why? What's made you come to that conclusion? What specifically? And you just don't get a response. So they probably haven't even thought about anything. They're just angry and wanted to vent, which I guess that's kind of fair in some ways. But yeah, the main thing is, though, I really hope that other YouTubers don't allow this to take a toll on them. I'd like fewer YouTubers to have no hair. I mean, look at Dave Cam. That's from his public service. And then look at me. Random Call Sign still got hair. Joe's still got hair, but with the way things are going, we're all going to be bald. So, but I think it's good to talk about these things, and hopefully YouTubers that it does affect, they talk about it as well. And for general viewers, what I think would be really helpful is when you see these types of comments, if you call them out, and I don't mean attack them, what I mean is you say to them, oh, what specifically? If you do what I've been doing, where you ask them, oh, what specifically? I think that can really help, and it stops a YouTuber having to do that. So, and do it on other people's channels, or do it on Reddit, ask for actual reasons, and I think that helps try and promote more productive critical thinking and tries to elevate the level of conversation. That's all I can really think of off the top of my head as to being productive to this sort of stuff, but it is a little bit depressing. But oh well, that's the excitement of life. Interested to know what you guys think in the comments, but until the next one, go and subscribe to my bro champion Joe. He does a really good job. I think it's great seeing how he's progressed. That sounds like he was terrible and he's got better. It's great how he's doing really good. Random Call Sign, there's a whole bunch of other channels. Jacksaw, good. There's loads of them. Go and subscribe to all those channels and help them bang their head against a wall. Till the next one, happy tea drinking. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.